Welcome to the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Pluff. Each week, we will cover various topics that dads struggle with in their fitness journey. I'll give you actionable steps that you can apply right away, not only to take back control of your own health, but so you're able to be a better example for your kids too.
When I was 19, I played on a semi-professional football team. I played kind of a little bit of everything. I was a receiver, I was a running back. I played a little bit of defense, special teams. Actually filled in at quarterback a little bit when a couple guys got injured. So it was a lot of fun. But I had this coach on my team, and he wasn't the best coach I've ever had. He wasn't the worst coach either. He had a lot of knowledge of the game. There was people skills, communication just wasn't his top. Just wasn't the best, right? And during games, he would cuss a lot. He would yell a lot. He would just let out all his anger. And he was probably a coach that a lot of people wouldn't like to have. But I actually really enjoyed playing with him. There's obviously things that could have been better and stuff. But one practice, I don't even remember what happened, to be honest, but I got hit in the head. I got hit in the helmet. And I stood up. And I don't know, maybe the field was going north or south or east or west or whatever way the field was going. But I stood up. And I had been hit in the head. And I didn't know it at the time. But I probably most likely had a concussion. But I was standing. And let's just say, for instance, that the field was going north and south. And I was facing east. And I was staring off in the distance. And I had no idea where I was. I was so confused. I couldn't figure out, where the play was, what was going on, and obviously, looking back, I definitely had a concussion here, but I got in football terms, I got my bell rung, right? I got hit really hard in the head, and I stood up, didn't know where I was, and they recognized that, and I went off. I didn't go back in there. Had a little bit of a break there, and my coach pulled me off and just took some time off there, and then he could see that, I wasn't with it 100%, and so I didn't play for a while. But then he had mentioned something, so we had a game coming up, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but he had said something to me like about the game, and he was like, yeah, he's like, you don't need to worry about it. It's like you don't need to rush back into it. I want to make sure that you're okay. He didn't care about the game. He didn't care about me playing. He cared about my health. He cared about my safety. And at that moment right there, he earned my respect. He earned my trust. I knew that he cared about me. And so when we had games, like he yelled all the time. He yelled a lot, and he cussed, and he was just like, I mean, if you weren't on his team, if you didn't know him, you'd probably be like, why would you enjoy playing for this guy, right? But I knew he cared about me. I knew it was more than just football for him. And so when we played the game, I was for him. I was there. I was there in battle with him. Like football is a battle, right? You're risking your body, at each and every game, and it's tough, right? You're with your teammates there, and you go out there and you compete, you do your best. But when you have somebody on your team that is in the trenches with you, you have somebody on the team that cares more about winning and losing, that cares actually about you, you're gonna fight like crazy for them, right? And that's the kind of coach that I want to be. I've had a lot of coaches in my life, and I've had a lot of good coaches, and I've had a lot of not so good coaches. And some of my favorite coaches, looking back, I don't yell a lot. I'm not a big rah-rah guy, big motivational guy, give a motivational speech, something like that. But I've had some of my favorite coaches I've ever had, looking back, were coaches that yelled a lot. And some of them were a little quieter, but a few that I can pick out right off the bat are some that probably aren't a lot of people's favorite, but they yelled a lot, they demanded a lot, and they cared a lot. And when you demand a lot of somebody, and you pair that with caring a lot about somebody and you show that to them, I mean, that person's going to run through a brick wall for you. I can still remember one of my coaches, one of my very first basketball coaches, two of them actually, that just were very, very emotional guys, yelled a lot. But man, I loved them, and I still love them to this day. I still speak extremely highly of them because they cared about me. And the reason they were able to yell at me, the reason they were able to demand so much of me is because I knew that they cared about me. And that's the kind of coach that I want to be. I've coached basketball in the past. I've coached soccer. I've coached ball. And as my kids get older, I'm going to coach, their sports as well. And I'm going to probably coach more. I've coached track before. I've coached lots of different things. And obviously I coach my own clients with, their fitness. I've been a personal trainer for a decade now. And I do, fitness and nutrition coaching. And sometimes I know I need to do a better job at it. I need to do more at demanding more of my clients. I want my clients to know I care about them. But the coaches I had in the past that I knew cared about me were also the ones who were the most demanding of me. And when someone is demanding of you, it's because they care about it. It's because they see something else in you, because they want more for you, because they know it's possible. Right? If you're just always getting affirmation, everything's going great, nothing, you don't need to change anything, but you're not seeing the results that you want, obviously something needs to change, right? The people that are in your life that challenge you, that are there for you, that care for you, that tell you the hard things that sometimes are hard. The hard things are hard, right? But those are the people you want to surround yourself with. Not the people who are always going to tell you the things you want to hear. And it's great to have those people too. You need those people too. If everybody in your life is challenging you, if everybody in your life is, telling you what you need to improve on, that's tough, right? That can just beat you down. You need people too who are going to build you up. But hopefully the people who are challenging you are building you up as well too. But I know I try and do that with my clients. I know I need to do a better job with a lot of my clients. I try and, have an aspect of that with my kids as well. I want my kids, I never want my kids to question that I love them, that I want what's best for them. But I also want them to know that I'm always going to challenge them to do more. And maybe that's what you need in your life, right? Obviously, I'm a coach. I would love to have a conversation and work with you if that's something you're interested in. And if you're not going to hurt my feelings. I have so many conversations with people, and sales calls, coaching calls with potential clients sometimes can be hard because there's two sides to this. One, yes, I want to help you. Two, I have a business, so obviously, like, for my family's sake, like, I need clients, but I want what's best for you. I know so many coaches, I know so many people who are willing to help you, but you gotta be vulnerable too, right? That's one thing that I've learned too, is when I've hired, obviously, like, playing sports, you have coaches, obviously. That's, kind of the biggest area where a lot of people experience coaching, but I've hired personal trainers too. I am a personal trainer, I am a coach, but I've hired other coaches for me. But the ones who I get the most out of, I can remember a very specific conversation. I had a business mentor, and I don't remember exactly what he had asked me to do. Like, we met like every couple of weeks or so, and he had asked me to do something, and I didn't get it done. For whatever reason, I just didn't complete it. And he called me out, and he said, you're too good of a coach, to not be able, to not get this, to not, start, having people sign up for you. So this is when I was first coaching stuff. And like I said, I don't remember exactly what he asked me to do, but that conversation stuck with me, because he challenged me. But he was able to challenge me because I knew he cared about me. Those are the people you need in your life. And so maybe, if I can be that person in your life, if you need a fitness and nutrition coach, I would love to talk with you. If you need me to help you point toward somebody that can help you, I would love to be the person to help point that person towards you, right? If there's somebody else in your life who can help you and you haven't had that conversation yet, my challenge for you is to reach out to them and let them know, hey, I need your help right now. Because if you can have somebody in your life, whether you're paying for them or maybe they're a brother-in-law, they're a friend, there's somebody that you know is going to keep you accountable because you know that they care about you, that relationship is worth gold.
That concludes this episode of the Fatherhood Fitness Podcast. Thank you for those of you who took time out of your busy schedules to listen. If you have any questions or comments or an idea for a topic for a future episode, please feel free to reach out, and I'd love to hear from you.